And welcome back to Tots. Tommy's thinking of thoughts. I guess we could do the 9/11 story today, Clarence. All right. So I always get asked, or I don't always get asked, but I get asked like, oh, when did you first start doing when did you start doing comedy? Hang on, Clarence, you're fucking freaking out, bud. When did you start, or like when did you know? And like, there's a couple different answers to that. 9/11, my 9/11. So I was in first grade. I was 7 years old, and I had just seen The Matrix, which best movie of all time. Our first crush, which yeah, I know. Oh, you're right. Yeah, but our first celebrity crush, like a lot of people. Oh, Princess Leia. Fuck Carrie Fisher, dude. It was Carrie Ann Moss, baby. Trinity. That was our lady. That was our gal. Okay. So yeah, so 9/11 happens. I'm in first grade, and I was in the I got put in the newspaper, in the local newspaper, with my first grade teacher, Mr. Martiello. All right, so uh all right, yeah, okay. So why did that happen, Tommy? Well, I'll tell you. So my mom told me. So this is like the autism takes things literally kind of. So my mom said that like not everything that you see on TV is real. And so I was like, all right, cool. And then also I've seen movies where where like CGI happens. So I'm just like, oh, okay. So I thought 9/11 was a movie that everyone was being taken out of school of to go see. That's what I thought. Let that sit for a second. Yeah, so I was sitting there. I wasn't a 9/11 truther, all right? Don't rope me in with those. I was 7, all right? I was like, there's no shot that's real, because like, why would that be real? Like, I couldn't, you know what I mean? So I thought it was like a really dope movie. I was like, oh, dude, that's like, they got really good stunt coordinators. I said that. I actually said that. They got really good stunt guys. That looked real, and then my teacher told me it was real. And then at 7, I want this to be known. So I started doing bits, I guess. Like, looking back, 9/11 was where the inception of the comic in me kind of like started to sprout, if you will. Started to blossom henceforth and hitherto. And so at 7, I asked a very interesting question. Well, Mr. Martiello, if that's real, what are you supposed to do in that situation? Again, I'm 7, and I said that. Very rational thought, human thought to have. And he said, I don't know. I don't know. What can you do? So then, me being 7, I was like, well, here's what I would do. Like, so then I started doing bits. I was like, you think that they were sitting there, and then like, everyone's rushing around, and then you're like, imagine being at 7. This is what I did. Imagine being the last guy to find out there's a plane barreling toward you, and then I was like, and then I was like, I asked one of the kids, do you think you'd be a jumper? I was like, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do that. I was like, my mom's a smoker. Maybe I'd be a smoker. You know what I mean? Maybe I would just burn to death. Um, so I literally was like just doing that, like just coming up with bits, and then I was like, I remember imagining being the guy that has to that's being yelled at to fly the plane into the. I literally was doing that because I was like, how. It was so like wild to me, like what would that be like? Because again, I didn't understand what was, but I kept focusing on the image of the planes hitting. So I'm in the paper. I'll probably show like a image. My mom kept the newspaper. My mom has multiple copies of the newspaper. I'll have it in one of the in the newspaper article though. It says that one or two or like three kids, and that's not true. It was one kid. It was one kid. It was me, and it's Mr. Mariello pointing at me, telling me to stop. Because sometimes I would like say a situation, and it would be it would be very callous of me to say. So it was like something that what else happened in first? So that was the birth of the comic in me. I literally was doing 9/11 bits the day after 9/11. Um, dude, I also I got taken out of school. Again, I had no idea what was happening. I just remembered coming home and all my friends were taken out of school. I was like, "Yo, dude, you guys want to hang out?" Like just no concept of what was. I think they had. Um, I think we watched South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, and I pissed my pants laughing. No, I'm not even joking. I literally, yeah, I peed my pants laughing at the South Park movie, the Terrence and Phillip. Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker. You're a butt fucking ass fucking Uncle Fucker. You're an Uncle Fucker. Yes, you are. Nobody fucks uncles quite like you, Uncle Fucker. That shit, dude. At 7, that shit had me in another stratosphere, man. Yeah. We had to read out loud. If you guys have to do that shit, I remember this wasn't even Catholic school. This was public school, first grade. We had to stand. We had to stand as a row and read out loud. I remember I would stutter and like my brain could read faster than I could speak sometimes. Um, the kid next to me didn't like that I was like I guess holding up everyone else's reading. Um, like I was making them look dumb. So he's like, "Oh, what are you, retarded?" So that was the first time that I realized, oh, I'm different. And then a thought ski doodle was like, "Oh, hey, well, wait. If retards don't gotta read, then yeah, I'll be retarded." And I convinced my entire first grade class and my teacher for a month that I was illiterate. This is true. I a 7-year-old. I convinced them all because I didn't like how that made me feel. I was like, I don't want to read ever again because of this fucking douchebag white kid that called me the R word. He tossed a hard R at me, folks. I need my reparations. I'm such a dick. But no, so he calls my mom, and he's like, Mrs. Nicoletti, even though it's not her last name. I have my dad's last name, which I love his last name, but it really sucks because I hate my dad. But he says that, and then he's like, "Is there anything? Tommy can't read." That's what he said. He said, Tommy can't read. And sorry, I was yawning. And because this story's fucking boring. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Thomas. I'm kidding myself. This is a great story. And yeah, so he tells my mom while she's at work that I can't read, and she laughs on the phone. And he says, "Is there anything?" I should like, "No." And she's like, "No, he can read." He's like, "I assure you, he can't." It was so funny, so funny. And she goes, "Okay, so he can't read. Tell you what, take him aside, just you and him. Ask him to read. Call me back with the results." Click, hangs up on him, and then he does just that. As if like crossing the street, I look both ways. There's no kids to, make fun of me. So then, of my public speaking capabilities or whatever the fuck that, like, I don't even know what that technique's for. It's stupid. It's just, oh, hey, let's humiliate kids. Ha 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 ha. Humiliating children. Ha ha ha. That's education. So then I started reading, and he was like, "Holy shit, you can read this whole time?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, What the fuck? Why?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't like how he made me feel." So that is our 9/11 story. What's another one that we have? Oh, I threw a book at my teacher one time. So in 6th grade, oh, dude, and I got a psychological evaluation. Fuck. Okay, so we got to do both of those. We'll do both of those. So the psychological evaluation we'll do first. So in 6th grade, both of these are when I was in middle school. 6th grade. All right. So same thing. It's a reading class. You can see that from 1st grade to 6th grade. I fucking did not like this shit. All right. So popcorn reading was a thing. And I didn't like it so much so that I'm in 6th grade and people are like, all right, popcorn Tommy, and I go no, and they're like, come on, and I just kept saying no because I remember my mom saying no means no. You don't have to do something that you don't want to do. I didn't want to read out loud. I'll read it. I'm not reading it out loud though. No, I don't like how it makes me feel. Not doing it. There's no reason to read out loud. There's no reason. You don't need to. Nope. And so they were like, my teacher goes, all right, come on, like a couple pages. I go no. She goes 2 pages. I go no. She goes a page. No. She goes a few paragraphs. I say no. She goes a paragraph. I go no. She says 2 sentences. I say no. She says a sentence. I say no. She says 1 word. And I said no. Dude, I was like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. So I would get in trouble a lot because I would just say no to things that I thought as a human I was allowed. But nope, you're not allowed. Everyone else has control over you. So my mom's like, you gotta compromise. They're like, because their side's right, but your side's also right. That's what my mom would say. So you gotta meet in the middle. And I was like, this bitch is smart. All right, I gotta listen to my mom. So I go in, I say, hey, listen, Miss Ada, I don't wanna get in trouble. I don't want to disrupt this class. I would like to present a compromise. would it be okay if I went outside in the hall, read through what you guys are going to read through, and then answered the questions as you will instruct them to, after you read, to go answer the things from the reading, and then when you guys are ready to do the discussion part of how we came to our answers and talk about the text, call me back in. I'll do that. I'll participate in that. I just don't like how it makes me feel to read out loud. Can I do that on my own? She goes, you know what? It's very mature of you. I appreciate that. You know what? Let's do that. Let's do that. And we shook on it, and I never felt better. I was like, oh my God, my mom is a fucking goddess genius. All right, I got to listen to women more. And then, so I'm outside. I do it. I'm done. And I'm waiting to be called back in. All right, this other teacher, comes out of her classroom, gives me a very dirty look. They're like 45 with white hair, and they're the biggest weight, the best weight, as Lucas Zelnick would say, the lesbian Lieutenant Lucas Zelnick would say. And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, that's weird. But I'm sitting there, sticking by my guns, compromise. Thomas, compromise. And maybe 10 minutes goes by, and she comes back, and she unlocks her classroom door, and this other teacher, who is not my teacher, who I don't interact with, who's older than me, I'm 11, goes, maybe you should be doing your work. That's what they said to me, an 11-year-old who's done his work. But okay. So I'm like, you know what, Thomas? Compromise. Remember, Thomas, we compromised. They just don't know about the compromise. I also didn't realize that a kid being outside the classroom usually signifies that they're in trouble and that they're a bad kid. Did not factor that into the compromise plan. Did not. So I tell her, I go, no, well, the thing is, I'm already done with the reading. I answer the questions. I'm just waiting to be called back in for the discussion portion. And I don't know what came over this lady, this whore, okay? But she, guys. Yeah, I'm going full misogynist on this singular entity that really had no business saying what they're about to say to an 11-year-old. Maybe you should do it again. That's what they said. That's what they said to me. Well, maybe you should do it again. I lost it. That does not compute with an autistic, okay? I went, do it again. What do you got, the Men in Black mind wipe thing? This isn't a movie. I can't do it again. Do it again. How about this? How about I don't have to listen to you because you're not even like a part of my curriculum. How about that? And so I'm sitting there like, Jesus Christ, what an asshole, right? Like, that's what I'm thinking about. My team leader, the leader of the teachers of like my of like who, storms out of her classroom. I'm like, holy, shot out of a cannon. I'm like, oh my God, someone's about to get it. I look around, no one else is outside. She points at me. I'm like, the fuck did I do? And she goes, how dare you talk to one of my colleagues like that? And I go, colleague? I've never seen you once acknowledge that person. I didn't even know she was a teacher until today. She goes, get your shit, you're going to Ice House. And I go, you're cursing at an 11-year? Like, it was insane, dude. So I go in. Everyone's like, what? because from their perspective, I went outside. Now I'm coming back in trouble. And I start like crying because like I literally compromised. I did everything right. And this 45-year-old started shit with me, and I responded, and now I'm getting in more trouble. Dude, fuck adults. So I'm like sitting there processing it, and apparently I was taking too long because my teacher lead person, who has like a lesbian cut because they're a fucking, ally or some bullshit. Oh my God. And they go, well, that's what they did. Well, so I took my book and I threw it at them. That shut her up. Real good. Worked like a charm. And then she got like scared because she's a fucking woman. Sorry. But she got like scared and then went to the 7th. I was in 6th grade. Went to the 7th grade principal, Bing Crosby, and had him deal with me. And he was like, what? All he did was throw a tantrum. Also, everyone hated this teacher, by the way. I want that to be known. A lot of people did not like this teacher. I say that because I was put in in-school suspension, ice house, because I threw a book at her because these 45-year-old started shit with an 11-year-old, and apparently, they got fucked up by the Thomas. Now, so I go into ice house, and this is like bad kids that like fight, like curse out, like actually do things that are bad. And so they're like, so Mr. Crosby says, well, you're just going here because you did it to calm down from your tantrum. That's what he said, that I threw I had a meltdown because I compromised, and then to a fat whale of a teacher, a fucking hog, ruined my day, ruined everything. Just fucking, okay. So I'm in ice house, and this like bad kid's like, oh, hey, what are you in here for? And I said I threw a tantrum. I threw a temper tantrum. And so everyone in ice house starts making fun of me, as if like I'm the prison bitch, like, hey, fish, all that stuff. Hey, what up, snowflake? And so the custodian teacher person guy dude who has to look over ice house, he closes the door so that no one hears, and he goes, no. He's not in here because he threw a, quote, temper tantrum. Hey, kid, tell him what you did. Oh, I threw a book at Miss King, and then I was like the god of Ice House for a day. They were like, holy shit. And I was like, what? So everyone hates her. Everyone hates her because the custodian dude was like giving me props. Dude, shit you not, man. And then, so then in 8th grade, oh no, and then, so that was throwing a book at the teacher, and then the psychological evaluation was, we had a math class, 6th grade, we had a substitute teacher. Okay, this is insane. Okay, so we had a substitute teacher, and all we had to do was do a test in math class. That's it. You just had to do a test. You just had to show up, do the test, nothing. How could I fuck that up, you ask? How did I fuck that up? I got done the test. I pull out a loose leaf piece of paper. Gentlemen, ladies, boys, girls, they, thems, folks. All right? Humans. I draw on this loose leaf piece of paper a stick figure comic called The Adventures of Mr. Blue and Mr. Green. Because every time I would ask kids what their favorite colors were, they would say blue or green. So I thought it'd be cool to have those concepts fight each other. That was my idea. And And they're like cursing at each other. They're beating each other up, all that stuff. So my friend Corey gets done. I pass the comic to him. He laughs, passes it back. And then the sub doesn't like that. So he comes up, you passing notes? And I go, no, this isn't a John Hughes movie. We don't pass notes. We have cell phones. If I wanted to fucking send him a message, you'd be none the wiser. So he snatches my he takes my comic, and I I'll be he yoinks it, and I'm like, great. But I'm not thinking anything of it. I'm like, oh, this is just, he took my comic, but he's a sub. He has no power, whatever. So the bell rings. So I go up, and I'm like, hey, can I have my comic back? And he goes, no, I think your teacher's going to want to see this. Who the fuck is texting me at a time like this? Are you fucking kidding me? So I'm like, hey, can I have my comic back? And he goes, no, I think your teacher's going to want to see this. So I'm autistic, not knowing it yet. And so I go, oh, you think it's that good? You know what I mean? So I dude, stick figures. I don't think it's that good. You think he'll like it? Kidding. No. What I said is, but that's my property. You can't take that. You're a sub. You're a substitute teacher. Like, you don't stop acting as if you have power. Give me my comic back. And he said no. And I was like, okay. So then I go to guidance, and I'm like, yo, this sub's on a power trip. Is anyone going to do anything about it? None of them give a shit. This is how old it is. He like forwards the comic. He like makes a copy of it. He sends it electronically or whatever. This guidance counselor guy that kind of reminds me of my Uncle Tom, except if Uncle Tom was a fucking gaslighting piece of shit that gets me in trouble. So it has like curse words. So now I'm crying again because I'm like, dude, now my mom's going to be all mad. All I did was do the quiz. No one got harmed. There was no reason for this substitute to take my comic. There was literally no reason for any of this, okay? So this happens. I am now suspended. My mom gets a call from guidance. I get kicked out of school. I get suspended. She had to come pick me up. I was suspended until further notice. I had to get a psychological evaluation in 6th grade at 11 years old because I drew a comic with stick figures cursing each other out and beating each other up, okay? So we go to a psychologist. This is all true. I go to a psychologist. They sit me down, and they ask me about the comic. And so they're beating each other up with things, and she goes, are those swords? And I go, no, those aren't swords. They're sticks, because they're stick figures. Duh. So she starts laughing, and then she says, why are they seem to have a lot of animosity toward each other. Why is that? They're cursing at each other. They're using harsh foul language. And I go, well, yeah, they're arch nemesises. They're arch enemies. Typically, when you hate someone and you see them and you get angry, you curse them out, right? That's like what adults do. And she goes, that kind of makes sense. I'm like, yeah, they're just doing that. It's kind of funny, too. Like, they're shouting at each other. And then she also asks, like, why green, why blue? And I'm like, oh, those are their code names. They're, like, secret agents. But, like, I kept asking kids, so I, like, told her, like, oh, yeah, like, blue, green, that would be funny. And then the secret layer of the bad guy, I think it was green. So Mr. Blue kicks him out of his layer's, like, window, and he's, like, falling down this thing. And she goes, oh, like, is this lava and is that blood? And I go, no. That's glass. He was kicked out a fucking window. And she starts laughing really hard. Go, no, that's not blood, that's glass. He was just kicked out a fucking window. And she goes, is that lava? I'm like, no, it's a waterfall. It's literally a secret base that's like the Hoover Dam. Why would he build a base near magma, lava, an active volcano? What? And I'm like looking at it, and then she calls my mom back in and she asks, did they talk to him about this at all? She goes, no. And then so the psychologist lady person says, yeah, he just wanted to draw a comic. And then she was mad. The psychologist lady was mad because she said that the only reason that kids get referred to like her or like this, for this, is if you have reasonable suspicion to believe that the kid's going to do harm to himself or to others. So they thought that I had a kill list and that I wanted to kill people at school, which is hilarious. And then, so then I go back. So my mom got me to write an apology. So I write an apology to my homeroom teacher and my math teacher, and so I go to school, and then you got to go into the gymnasium before school starts. So I go in, and all the kids, I was gone for 3 days. All the kids start going, doing the Jason Voorhees theme, calling me Mike Myers and shit. So I'm like, nah, that's not, you got to cut that shit out. That's not that funny. It was pretty funny. And so I tell them what happened. I explain like the curse words and stuff, and and then I remember I have this apology. I'm like, I gotta rush because I wanted to drop it off before homeroom because I always get to homeroom late, and I didn't want everyone to see me drop a letter in front of this guy when everyone knows like rumors have been spread and all that shit. So I go to like the custodian people who are watching the gym, and I go, hey, is that all right if I sprint real quick? I'll be back in like 2 minutes. I just need to go drop this off at my homeroom. It's an apology letter. I haven't been here. And they go, you're not going anywhere using language like that. And I was like, wait, what? Oh, because of like I was like, no, I was just explaining to them. And I was like, wait a minute. You're not mad that they're calling me a serial killer, but you're mad that I'm using foul language because that's part of the story of why you idiots in the first place kicked me out of school? Sounds like, are you serious? So now I'm waiting for the bell to ring like it's fucking Mission Impossible. And I got that theme, the dun 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 dun, and I fucking haul ass. I'm fucking shoving people over. I'm decking people. I'm trying to get to homeroom. I'm trying to get there first. I ain't getting there last. So I get there. I kick open the door, right? All heroic. I go. I open the door to my homeroom, and I'm the last one in homeroom. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know how did you beat me? I passed you. I shoved you over. How did you beat me? So I had to drop it off. I look like an asshole, and I'm sitting there, and they do like the morning announcements, and then there's a call. There's commotion over the class. We're waiting for for homeroom for first period, and then a call comes. And my homeroom teacher looks at me, and he goes, Tommy, you're wanted at the 6th grade principal's office. And everyone goes, what did you do? And I go, I don't even know. I just showed up. So I have to go to Miss Whitelock's office, who famously we called Miss Whitecock. She was a stiff one. I tell you what. She was like, what is this? I'm getting reports, as if it's a fucking news station, as if this is breaking news. Getting reports that you've been using foul language before homeroom in the gymnasium. And I go, well, yeah, everyone's doing. I explain like the Michael Myers theme and the Jason Voorhees shit. And how I just explained why I wasn't here for 3 days. And she goes, yeah, we would like if you didn't talk about that. And I laughed in her face and went, no. Sorry, that's not how the world works. Oh, you mean the mistake you made? The grave error in judgment that you made? Yeah, no, I'm going to keep talking about that. And then in 8th grade, I was failing my reading class, and I got accused of being sexist because I'm passing all my other classes and they were taught by men. What the fuck, dude? These were adults that went to college past. I was like, oh, yeah, where'd you get your degree? DeVry online? What the fuck is this? And I'm like, it's not because I don't like women. That's ridiculous. I named all the women whose classes I passed with flying colors, who I loved being in their class. I was overjoyed to be in their class. And I was like, that's just uncharacteristic, and you're adults trying to do that to like a 10-year-old. This is sexist of you. I'm like, the fuck kind of horseshit liberal who, what the fuck? And then my, what, the Mr. Farrell rocking a flat top like a fucking loser bitch said to me, I think I was like 12. We had 2 meetings. He goes, Tommy, if we have to have another one of these, I'm going to push to get you expelled. That's what he said, because I was failing one class. And George Bush was president. So I said, yeah, no child left behind, bucko. Anyway, if you were to hold me back, see you next year, motherfucker, idiot. It's not how the world works. You can't expel me because I'm failing one class, you moron. Ugh. Oh. I was going to do a school shooter joke. I'm not going to, though. Not. Because I'm better than that. I was going to say, of all the experiences of schools, Keith Valley was the one that deserved it the most. Not the kids, mind you. The kids were cool. The kids were my friends. In middle school and high school and stuff. The kids were cool. It was the high school, it was also cool. It was middle school, the teachers needed to die. It wasn't the kids. The kids. No, I love the kids. It was the adults that were on my shit list. All right, we got to go to work. Clarence, sign off on the people one time. Oh, yeah. Yeah, with it. Wait, someone commented on our thing? Why do people fucking... Oh my god, dude. We actually have people that like Elon? Ew. 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 All right, we're going to go argue with these people probably all day at work. This has been an episode of Tots Tammy's Thinking of Thoughts.